My name is Mabel, and I buried my husband on a Tuesday morning with exactly 4 people standing behind me. Desmond's coworkers, not our kids. The funeral director kept glancing at the empty rows. Mrs. Corvin, would you like us to wait a bit longer? No, let's proceed. He cleared his throat. Your children called earlier. They said they couldn't make it due to work commitments. I didn't respond. Fiona worked from home. Glenn owned his own contracting business. They chose not to come. After the burial, I drove back to the house Desmond and I bought 32 years ago. The key wouldn't turn in the front door lock. I tried again. Nothing. My neighbor Vera walked over from her porch. Mabel, everything okay? The lock isn't working. Maybe try the back door? I walked around. New deadbolt. I checked the side door to the garage. Different lock entirely. Vera followed me. That's strange. Did Desmond have the locks changed recently? He was in hospice for 3 weeks. He couldn't have. My phone rang. Fiona. Mom, we need to talk. I'm locked out of my house. That's what I'm calling about. Glenn and I have decided you can't live there anymore. I pressed the phone harder against my ear. What are you talking about? Dad left the house to both of us in the will. We had the locks changed this morning. We're putting it on the market next week. Fiona, I was at your father's funeral, alone. We sent flowers. You changed the locks while I was burying him? Mom, you're being dramatic. Dad knew what he was doing. He talked to us about this 6 months ago. He said you weren't capable of managing the property or finances. We're doing what's best. Vera was staring at me now, her expression shifting. Fiona, this is my home. It's our inheritance. Lydia helped Dad set everything up properly. She explained how you'd react, so we prepared. Lydia? Dad's business partner. She's been really supportive during all of this. She said you'd probably try to guilt us. Let me in my house. Glenn's already there removing your medications and important documents. We'll bring them to you later. Lydia suggested you stay at a hotel for now. A hotel? Just temporarily while we figure out your living situation. Lydia knows a nice assisted living facility. I'm 56 years old. Mom, Dad was worried about you. He told us you were getting forgetful. Lydia witnessed some concerning episodes. My hands were shaking. What episodes? We don't need to get into it right now. Glenn will text you when he's done inside. Don't come back to the property today. She hung up. Vera touched my arm. Mabel, what's happening? My children just stole my house. That can't be legal. Apparently their father left it to them. But you were married. That doesn't sound right. I called Glenn. It rang 4 times. Mom. Glenn, I need to come inside. Fiona told you the situation. This is illegal. I have rights. Dad's will was very clear. Lydia made sure everything was airtight. She said you'd threaten legal action. Who is this woman? She was Dad's partner for 8 years. She cared about him, unlike you apparently. What does that mean? Lydia told us about the affairs, Mom. My breath caught. What affairs? Don't play innocent. Dad confided in her. She has proof. Glenn, your father had late-stage cancer. When would I have had affairs? Lydia said you were cold to him, distant. She showed us text messages. What text messages? From Dad's phone, about how lonely he felt, how you were always gone. I was at the hospital with him every single day. That's not what the messages said. Let me see them. Lydia has them. Look, Mom, this isn't easy for us either, but Dad wanted us protected from your manipulation. Glenn, please. He ended the call. Vera was backing away slowly. Mabel, maybe you should call a lawyer. You believe them? I don't know what to believe. This is very complicated. Vera, we've been neighbors for 18 years. I know, but if Desmond's will says... So you think I'm a liar now? She didn't answer. She walked back to her house. I stood on my own front lawn, locked out, with nowhere to go. I spent that night at a Holiday Inn off Route 9. The next morning, Glenn texted me an address for a storage unit. Your belongings are here. Code is 4783. Don't contact us again until you've accepted the situation. I drove to the facility. Unit 237 contained 12 boxes. My clothes, photo albums, Desmond's ashes in a cheap plastic urn. They'd put his ashes in storage. I sat on the concrete floor and cried for 20 minutes. My phone rang. Unknown number. Is this Mabel Corvin? Yes. My name is Randall Pierce. I'm an estate attorney. Your husband Desmond came to see me 7 weeks ago. I stood up. What? He wanted to create a new will. He was quite ill during our meeting, but very lucid. He insisted on recording a video statement. I don't understand. My children said he left everything to them. That's why I'm calling. The will your children have is from 8 years ago. Desmond created a new will with me that supersedes it. You inherit everything. The house, his life insurance, his business share. Your children receive nothing. My legs felt weak. Why? He didn't explain fully. He just said they'd shown their true nature and he was protecting you. He paid my retainer in cash and made me promise not to contact you until after the funeral. He said, and I quote, Mabel will need proof of what they're capable of. They've already changed the locks. They've removed my belongings. That's forcible entry and theft. The house was never theirs. Do you have somewhere safe to stay? A hotel? Good. Don't go back to the property alone. I need you to come to my office this afternoon. Bring identification and your marriage certificate if you have it. It's in one of these boxes somewhere. Find it. I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Mrs. Corvin, your husband protected you. Now we protect his wishes. He gave me the address and hung up. I searched through the boxes until I found our marriage certificate. I also found something else. A letter in Desmond's handwriting, addressed to me, dated 5 weeks ago. Mabel, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And Fiona and Glenn have done exactly what I feared. Lydia has poisoned them completely. She convinced them you were unfaithful, that you were stealing from my business, that you were cruel to me. None of it is true. She wants my share of the company. She's been planning this for 2 years. I caught her forging documents. When I confronted her, she said she'd destroy our family if I reported her. I didn't believe her. I was wrong. She got to our children first. She showed them doctored text messages. She cried to them about how I suffered. Our kids believed her because she's convincing and because they wanted Dad's money more than they wanted the truth. I've changed my will. Randall has everything you need. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I thought I could fix this. I couldn't. Protect yourself. They're not the children we raised anymore. I love you, D. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the letter. At 2 o'clock, I walked into Randall Pierce's office. He was mid-50s, gray beard, tired eyes. Mrs. Corvin, please sit. He opened a file folder. I've drafted a letter to your children, informing them of the actual will. However, I need to prepare you for what comes next. What do you mean? They'll contest this. Lydia will help them. She has resources. Desmond's letter says she forged documents. Do you have proof? Just the letter. That's hearsay in court. We need more. Did Desmond have business records at home? Everything was in his office, at the company. Where Lydia works. Yes. Then she's likely destroyed anything incriminating. Your children will claim Desmond wasn't mentally competent when he made the new will. They'll say you coerced him. Lydia will testify against you. So I've already lost? No, but this will take time, months, possibly years, and it will get ugly. How ugly? He leaned forward. Mabel, your children will say terrible things about you publicly. Lydia will coach them. She's smart. She'll paint you as the villain. They've already started. They told my neighbor about fake affairs. It'll spread. Are you prepared for that? I thought about Vera's face yesterday. The doubt, the distance. I don't have a choice. You do. You could walk away. Let them have it. My husband wanted me protected. Your husband is dead. You're the one who has to live through this. I looked at Desmond's letter in my lap. Send the letter to my children. Randall sent the letter via certified mail. Fiona called me 6 hours later. You're insane. Fiona. Lydia said you'd pull something like this. She said you'd manipulate Dad on his deathbed. I never even knew he made a new will. Liar, you forced him to cut us out. Your father wrote me a letter explaining everything. He knew Lydia was manipulating you. What letter? Glenn's voice joined. Speakerphone. Mom, stop. Lydia is here with us. She wants to talk to you. A new voice, smooth, confident. Mabel, this is Lydia Costa. I think we need to clear up some misunderstandings. You poisoned my children against me. I supported Desmond during his illness. He'd call me crying. I have recordings. That's impossible. He told me about your affairs. He showed me credit card statements, hotel rooms, expensive dinners. Fiona, Glenn, and I have been meeting weekly for 6 months. We've built a detailed timeline. The courts will see financial abuse and emotional neglect. Desmond's new will was signed under duress. You isolated him. You controlled his medication. I hung up. My phone rang 8 more times that evening. The next morning, I found a post on Fiona's Facebook page. Public. It's been a devastating week. We lost our father and discovered our mother has been financially and emotionally abusing him for years. We're heartbroken. We're consulting with attorneys to protect Dad's legacy. Thank you to everyone who's reached out. Special thanks to Lydia Costa for supporting our family through this nightmare. 247 likes, 63 comments. Vera had commented, "Praying for you both." I called Randall. "They're destroying my reputation." "I know. Don't respond. Anything you say will be used against you." "Everyone believes them." "That'll change when we present the video." "What video?" Desmond recorded a 20-minute statement explaining everything. His mental competency, Lydia's manipulation, the forged documents. It's dated and time-stamped. He made it with a notary present. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I needed to see how far they'd go. Now we know. Lydia's making them arrogant." "So what happens now?" "We file to execute Desmond's will. They'll contest. We go to mediation first, then court if necessary. The video will be our primary evidence." "How long?" 4 months minimum, maybe 8. "I can't afford a hotel for 8 months. "Do you have family?" "My sister in Vermont. We haven't spoken in 3 years." "Call her. You need somewhere stable." I called Patricia that evening. She answered on the 5th ring. "Mabel?" "I need help." I told her everything. She was silent for a long time. "Come stay with me. I have a guest room." "Patricia, don't argue. Pack what you have. Drive up tomorrow." "Thank you." "Mabel, are Fiona and Glenn really doing this?" "Yes." "I never liked those kids. Too entitled. Desmond spoiled them." "He loved them." "Love isn't always enough. Come tomorrow." I lived with Patricia for 6 months. The legal battle was exactly as ugly as Randall predicted. Lydia hired 3 attorneys. They filed motion after motion, claiming Desmond's incompetence, claiming fraud. Randall showed the video during mediation. Desmond looked directly at the camera, frail, a clear-eyed.
My name is Desmond Corvin. I'm making this statement of my own free will. I have terminal pancreatic cancer and approximately 6 weeks to live. I'm creating a new will because my children have chosen money over family. Lydia Costa manipulated them with forged documents and lies because I discovered she was embezzling from our company. When I confronted her, she threatened to turn my children against me. She succeeded. They haven't visited in 3 weeks. I'm leaving everything to Mabel. She's been faithful and present. My children don't deserve my legacy. The video continued with documentation, bank records, forged signatures, email evidence. Fiona started crying. Glenn stared at the table. Lydia's attorney paused it. We maintain that Mr. Corvin was not mentally competent. He's competent enough to name your client as a thief, Randall said. Should I call the police now or after? Lydia stood. This is fabricated. The notary is waiting outside. So is Desmond's oncologist. So is his hospice nurse. All will confirm his mental clarity. The mediation ended. Lydia's attorneys withdrew. Glenn looked at me once. Did you know about the video? No. Dad really believed we abandoned him? You did. You changed the locks while I buried him. Fiona was still crying. Lydia showed us evidence. She showed you lies. We didn't know. Yes, you did. You chose to believe her because it was easier than admitting you wanted the money. Glenn stood. Mom, don't. I don't want apologies. Your father left you nothing because you earned nothing. They signed the papers. The house returned to me. Desmond's business share was liquidated. Lydia was arrested 3 weeks later. She posted bail and disappeared. Fiona sent flowers with the card. Mom, we're so sorry. Can we talk? I threw them away. Glenn called. I didn't answer. They showed up at Patricia's house on Christmas Eve. Patricia wouldn't let them pass the porch. Glenn stood in the snow. We made a mistake. We were manipulated. Please, Mom, we're still your kids. Patricia shut the door. I moved back to the house in January, alone. I had the locks changed again. Vera stopped me at the mailbox last week. Mabel, I owe you an apology. Okay. I shouldn't have doubted you. Can we move past this? No. I went inside. The house is quiet now, but it's mine. Desmond made sure of that. I'm angry at Fiona and Glenn for choosing money over truth. They locked me out while I buried their father. That's who they decided to be. They're still trying. Texts, emails, letters. They want forgiveness. But Lydia didn't make them change those locks. She didn't make them leave their father dying. She didn't make them post lies about me. She gave them permission to be who they already were. Last month, Fiona showed up pregnant. Mom, you're going to be a grandmother. Doesn't that change anything? I looked at her belly, then at her face. No.
I closed the door. Now I sit here most evenings, with Desmond's ashes on the mantel, and I wonder, if your own children could choose cruelty when it benefited them most, what does that say about how well you really knew them at all?